It's about how can we use web technology cheaply and quickly to make things better for patients, easier for frontline clinicians, or to save money. That's essentially what it is. And there's 4 phases. The first phase and the second phase were both funded out of innovation monies that every region got last year from the government. So we've got a small amount of money, relatively speaking. The first phase was brainstorming ideas. So we ran 8 2-hour brainstorming sessions with patients and clinicians and managers. Each one was themed slightly differently, so a couple were around long-term conditions, one was about just patient experience generally and the web, another one was saving money and the web. I can't remember them all, but 8 2-hour brainstorming workshops where very quickly we just hit people for ideas about use the web in your private life, what sites do you like, how could we use it more creatively in the NHS. We hoovered up, we were astounded really, it's like a dam breaking. We ended up with 256 ideas out of the 8 brainstorming workshops. A lot of duplication, some good, some terrible, some kind of something in there but needs thinking about. But getting ideas wasn't hard. So we got the 256 ideas, and then we took a look at them and just sort of pulled out of that list 20 that we thought there's really something interesting in this, and we can see how we could build something or bring this to life. Phase 3 was a difficult bit, which was actually going to the primary care trusts in the northwest and seeking to persuade them to put their hands in their pocket and to finance the build of the prototypes. It took a few months to get that sorted. The timing was terrible because we were asking them for the investment I think the day after the white paper was published, which could have been worse, could have been the actual day, I suppose. But anyway, we ended up with 11 primary care trusts in the northwest agreeing to invest. And so we are using their money plus some additional money from the innovation fund that's still there, and some monies from 2 or 3 organisations outside the northwest who've come in to plug the gap to build the prototype. So we're now sort of 3 weeks into phase 3, which is building these 19 prototypes. We're not building them all at once, they're in 3 waves, but over the next 9 months we'll have all 19 built, and in the next 3 months we'll have 7 built.
So what are they actually getting for their money? So they've invested in helping you develop these prototypes, and they get to use all these prototypes, license free.
Yeah, the investors, the NHS investors, get whatever comes out the pipeline, which hopefully will be all 19 built in a way that's useful. They'll get free use of those sites, tools, apps, whatever we want to call them.
And are they all big projects, or are some little and some big?
They range from 1 or 2 might take about £8,000 to £10,000 to do, to the one that we think is the most complicated, which might take about £70,000 to build. So most of them are in the sort of 25 to 40,000 category, really. In terms of specific examples you're asking, I'll give you 2 or 3. Let's try and think. So there's I must apologise because the speech therapists hate this name, but we're going to have to change it. But the prototype's called Peter Piper, and it's essentially about putting a large part of the speech therapy process for children online with personal accounts. And so at the moment, in some parts of the country at least, children, when they pitch up to see a speech therapist, are getting an initial assessment and then being asked to go away and practice at home with their parents making certain sounds, and someone's going to a cupboard and getting out a bit of paper with some games and diagrams and pictures on for them to replicate sounds. The whole thing is made for the web, really. Not only does it make it a more compelling experience for the child and the parent, more likely to practice because it's more enjoyable. The therapist can see who's practicing and who isn't, and who's making progress and who isn't, and can adjust their appointment scheduling accordingly. So that's a great idea for putting part of the service process online, a large part of it online.
Are you looking for other investors, or have you got the PCTs that you need now?
I think we've drawn a line under it now.
Right.
I think we've said we've got enough money from the initial group of investors to get the 19 prototypes built and deployed. The fourth phase, which I forgot to say, is then to form a company with the original investors to commercialise those products across the country and in other healthcare markets where that's possible, to bring money back into the pot to do more stuff. So hopefully the initiative will be financially self-sustaining